A few years ago, oh my God, I was probably 16 or so when my brother first told me about Edgar Casey. And I thought, wow, that must be so neat. You know, to help people like that, that actually believed you and didn't think you were a demon worshiper or something, you know. And I thought, wow, that would be kind of cool, you know. Help the world, and those who didn't believe, well, I just have to develop thick skin. Well, thank God I have. So, one of two big goals in my young teen life. One was to face the devil, because I feared if I faced the devil, I'd never be afraid of anything, especially spiders. And two, if I could talk to Arthur Ford and or Edgar Casey. Now, I realize that this, you know, just contacting, you know, exited movie stars and popular people, whatever, is nothing fantabulous. Just like, to me, when they're here, they have skin. It's nothing, you know, new. When I met a few movie stars or, you know, popular people, whatever. But it's a totally different vibration to me. Like when I do my readings, if you believe now and then you cross over, it just gets greater later, you know. As opposed to those who expect to find hellfire damnation, or those like, you know, murderers who, of course, may possibly not believe in anything in crossover. And anyway, that's a whole other video. But anyway, I'm just saying that to say, when you're here and you believe and then you cross over and you believe, it makes everything much, much, much stronger. So I prayed and prayed and prayed for years to finally have those two dreams happen, so I can face my fear and grow spiritually, and then grow spiritually. So in my sorry, hang on. This isn't the time, guys. I didn't tune in to talk to you. Move. I tune in so I could remember what Edgar Casey had to say. I always ask permission, you know. I tell my guides, you know, if it's possible, because they go to school, you know, they look after you and thousands of billions of people. They don't just sit there on their hands doing nothing all day. It's just like it is here, over there, except no skin. I believe they go to school to be further educated. They work with us to be further educated, just like we work with them to be further educated and learn and grow. And wow. So one of the biggest things I wanted to know from him and Arthur Ford, well, I was silly and childish, and I had just read Ruth Montgomery, one of the books where Arthur Ford describes Pluto, and I longed to go there, so I asked Edgar Casey, I said, is it really like that? Anyway, the answer to that is like a year later. It took me a full year to be able to build up my energy to leave my body to go there, and I went there, but that's a separate video. And it's so interesting when you're speaking to, you know, disembodied spiritual entities on the other side, and not using my language but using his language. It's interesting hearing somebody else's words pop out of your head. We walked along the beach because that's where I like to meditate. And then, of course, the scene changed into a park and then a very heavily treed forest. And as the subject changed, I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to talk, and this is just so moving, I'm sorry. And think and talk. It's so funny because, you know, I didn't see a lot of videos of him and how he may have spoken. I don't know what his voice sounds like. I don't know. I just know what the vibration feels like. So what I did was I asked my spirit guides, I said, if he's not available to speak directly to me, please help refresh that memory that I had of that meditation with him. So what a little fairy has done is it's like vibration in a jar, if you will, and I've never seen this before, so just bear with me while I experience this emotion for the first time. I'm sorry. It's just kind of touching, you know, when you ask for something and you get 1,000,000,000 times better than you ever thought it was gonna be. So she's got this little jar, you know, like a little decanter, if you will, and she takes the top off and she pours it on the top of my head, and then I'm illumined like with little gold flecks of fairy jelly or something, like syrup in a bottle, and the vibration instantly changes, and I can see the picture of him, and then it fades. It just let me know that's him. His essence, that's what it was. She said his essence. She gave me a drop of his essence to help me remember, since he's off doing other things with billions of other people right now. We're walking down the path, and though he is very tall as he stands on my left side, he holds my hand as if we are the same height, and he says, looking down at me, and it's kind of a neat feeling to feel the warmth of the spirit that you've never felt before, or at least in 30 years or so. Tell you, you know, all things are meant to be made easy and light. As you, as a child, like kite flying, feel yourself as the kite. All energies are meant to be made light and pure of mind, pure of spirit. It is pure Godness that travels with you at all times. Oh, sorry, he's answering a question that I asked earlier, which was about my health and diseases. And he says, everything is made to be a lesson to learn, to travel over into the next lifetime, if you choose to make that life and the following life better and better in your spiralement towards the God force. As we experience these things, our body learns, therefore our spirit learns the small, minute lessons, because of the physical body, that you will cross over with, and it will become a vast mountain. And then a picture of Mount Everest pops into my head. I mean, it's a pretty huge lesson from a molehill, don't you think? Or just having, you know, cramps or something, and it's really a huge molehill. I mean, it's really a huge mountain when you're in spirit. He says, you must realize, my child, everything around you is living and growing in the God force that you know it is. It is real. It is not something make-believe, and then, as you say, people will test you. They make it to where you can learn your lessons as simply as possible with the agreement that you chose with the divine force before you had skin. All things are to be made simple and pure. Everything should be of light heart and taken, as you humans still say, with a grain of salt. Your life is beautiful. Your ailments that you seem to be having at this time that are challenging you are only meant to strengthen you, as you will be meeting new and different people. You will be meeting aliens from other planets, as you've asked us to assist you in many years ago now, upon Earth years, of course. Many things you have asked for are coming into fruition as you have asked for them many physical years ago. Your mind and body are redeveloping into a new thing right now, as you would call it, my child. It's so funny. He bends down. He's like, 18 feet tall now. And he bends down and he kisses me on the forehead. And he said, for the one that asked you to make this video, please inform him that he is so much stronger than he will ever realize. And yes, they have been visiting him as well. I hope you know what that means for the person who asked me to make this video. Things will come quickly to you now, since you have overcome many of your physical challenges and you face them with great honor and dignity. The angels and teachers and guides, as you call them, are very proud of you, for this is not easy to overcome and ascertain and face with great honor like you have. We are very proud of you, the one called Tasha. You are a true instrument of peace and light. Everything will change. Wow. It's so funny. I really wish you could see what I see. It's like, wow, hang on. This is emotional. Imagine something, but it physically, we think it's going to have a jolting reaction when you see lightning or thunder, and it's so fabulous. I saw him leave in like a clap of lightning, and you could see the bolt of lightning, literally a bolt of lightning, and all I felt was this whoosh of energy, and I have never felt anything like that. So it's kind of overwhelming. And if you can just bear with me a second here, sorry, I feel kind of drunk, for lack of a better word. It's like, if somebody were to touch you, because I have been experiencing, all these uterus issues, and it's so amazing. I've never felt this before. It's like you can feel somebody poking your skin, except it's on the inside, and I can feel them touching me. Wow. Wow. And the little fairies, well, I believe we only we imagine things to be in our own mind. And in the cartoon, when somebody falls and bumps their head, then they got a little ring of stars around their head. I got a little ring of fairies around my head, and they're all like going poof, and with their little fairy dust, healing dust, and they are